I would like to know like what type of GIS related skills you are actually applying your current positions, like specific what type of GIS works you do in your day-to-day work in your current position.
Actually, something that is kind of boring, but a lot of what I'm doing right now is cleaning and preparing data for GIS analysis. I deal with a lot of unstructured data because I work in safety and security. Most of the information we're using are narrative reports from our employees or from customers to highlight different safety issues throughout our entire network. And so, because they're sending us text narratives, we don't always have the gate information in a clean format, or we don't have GPS location for a lot of these reports. So we're in the process of developing automated methods for cleaning that data up and then making it joinable with polygons and point data that we have curated on the side. So I think one of the wonderful things about grad school is you get to work with a lot of data that's pretty for you and it is meant for GIS. And unfortunately, when you work in industry, that is not the reality. You get a lot of messy data, or you get a lot of data from people who are not GIS people. We have started installing telemetry devices on our ramp equipment so that we can track our different vehicles. And when I had to ask one of the technology people what projection the data was in, I got a lot of confused looks because none of them even knew what a projection was. So it can be a little frustrating at times because you might be the only person who speaks GIS in the room that you're working in. But it is cool to get to work with different data types. And you do learn a lot of neat tricks. I mean, I use a lot of SQL and Python, and those are things I didn't have as much of an opportunity to use in my undergrad and graduate experience. I get to use them a lot now. So there's definitely some additional skill development that comes with that.
Yeah, the GIS related stuff. It's actually interesting because our team is actually progressing. Like, remember, I talked myself when I'm applying for my job for the GIS manager when I first started getting a job, and that also means our company at that time doesn't even have a dedicated GIS person. So we did all a bunch of sort of work, like all the way from the beginning to from acquisition of the data, where to get it downloaded. Like sometimes you even have to calling people, and they have to send like email you a thumb drive with some kind of map, like not even a map, maybe just a KML. I mean, even have like ridiculous formatting, like just a paper map that you have to digitalize it. So all kinds of things like, yeah, like Judah said, like you never imagine what kind of sources data you will get. A lot of cleaning and then into processing the data, make sure everything is clean. There's no overlapping boundaries between our project versus the like other ownerships, and all the way to the end, like how to use that, because like for forestry project, you have to delineate the stream management zones. So you need to run some DM tools to run the flow path to figure out how the rivers flows and create buffers around it. And including like a lot of other strategies like stratification by tree height, stratification by the land base, like the slope, stratification by all kinds of requirements as needed by the project. So that's like where the exciting part comes in. It's like grad school, like you start with the data with the question in mind, doing all the things processed. Here our work is just more robust, more wild, and the request keeps changing sometimes, which also makes it interesting, as you can seek a lot of creative solutions around it. But now as our team grows and we actually have a dedicated GIS team, and being a manager of managing a lot of carbon projects, I start to get a little bit away from the actually operating running tools, but more just telling the GIS team what to do. So on the other side of the Julia side, but fortunately, I know GIS, so I know what I need to do. So usually I just tell them like exact prompts, like, "Hey, I need this. Can you create a buffer, creating four stratus? Run the near like get some Zuno stats for me. Those are fine." Which so it's a very pleasant working experience with my GIS team. Like if both sides know what you're talking about, and also it's more efficient for you to grab information that you want, and also by doing that, I do not need to personally dive in and clean up the messy data. I just hand it to the other group. But like I said, we're still like running some GIS tools because our geospace GIS team does not like care for us 24/7, of course. So we do run some simple tasks like and also do some analysis that we feel are needed from our clients. And that still require me to keep track and keep using my old skill sets. So get refreshing at it. And yeah, there was some SQL and Python involved as well, but not as often as Julia said.
If I'm thinking more like application type, like GIS related skills and things I use frequently, I mean, like the basic ones are like the organizational skills, your memory skills. But more like the application wise, I use a lot of AJOL, which is something that my master's program and even my undergrad program didn't really touch on a lot. I had to get a lot of that information in my and like learning how to use those tools in my first career. So we create a lot of like community GIS viewers for the different communities that we work with. Creating those in AJOL, making sure that they work for engineers who need plan sets and things, all the way down to like your field worker guys who just are in the field and need to know like where a valve is at a certain time. So making those work for them, but then also creating those so that you don't spend more time managing the actual viewer than you do the actual data that's in the viewer. Because we have a lot of our communities use outside software applications. So keeping my technical skills and my application like coding skills like up to a standard so that I can help them implement their GIS data into these outside software applications like OpenGov, or I think there's like CityWorks or GIS, IMGIS is a few of those ones. Like they're like more maintenance, work order managing types. So trying to be aware of all the different applications that I can put into my application that will do the work, so that I don't have to do the work. Like we have county resources, live REST services and things, knowing what like update schedules on those, and then being able to technically put that into my GIS viewer so everybody can see it, with all the permissions and things, but then also coding it so that it works in your pop-ups and things. You can take like the parcel pins and link them to outside websites. We have like auditor websites and things. So being aware of all that sort of stuff. But just the GIS related skill that benefits me the most in this career, and I think any career I would choose, is like the technical aspect of it. Like being able to, even if you don't code a lot, just coding a little bit is a lot more than a lot of other people do in GIS and then in any industry as well. So keeping those up to date, I use them most frequently. I mean, day to day, it's something. And like Julia kind of mentioned, like the GIS speech and like how you interact with people. Because at Chagrin Valley, we have a municipal department. They work directly with our communities and our city engineers. Our water resources department, they work more with like local organizations that deal with our utilities. We have a survey group as well too. So I work a lot with like different applications that use GIS data, and then I also get information back from those as well. So CAD, AutoCAD, Open Roads are just a few of those that we provide information and data out to people, like aerials. And it is like, what coordinate system do you need? And you get this blank stare, and it's like it's kind of important. So kind of learning what they do and then bringing in outside data and making it usable is a skill that I had to really up as soon as I got here, because I didn't usually work with like DWGs, CAD data. So being very aware of that. I think those are but it's just like the technical skills. I feel like learning a software like ArcPro, ArcMap, AJOL is super tough at first, but once you learn one software, you can kind of like relate those to the other ones that you have to deal with. They all have like a same function. So it's like really getting that foundational GIS technical skills and up to par. It can be hard. It's still funny like today, because I'll like teach my team members new skills and things, and watching them get frustrated over like things that when I was in undergrad like used to make me so upset, but it's like second nature now. Just that repetitive, and always trying to continually using my technical skills. AGOL and ArcPro, I feel like the updates, they change a lot, so I'm always trying to keep like what is being like taken out and what is being brought in. And when I started here, it felt like I definitely had like one foot in the new world, one foot in the old world, because they were still using like arc maps, a lot of like very old arc maps, and like moving those over to AGOL was a lot of it was a big transition. Like you have 10 years of deprecated data that has just sat, and now it needs to go into this whole new format where half of it works and half of it doesn't. Being able to notice that and use your technical skills to fix it all is quite important. So that's my spiel on that one.